again with Easy Messages and Michelle Jones, and we're with Awaken, and we have another wonderful podcast to share with you today. A lot of us get sometimes stuck, and we were talking about a bit of that before, but we're going to give you some more stories and incidences of how amazing it is when you let yourself wake up. And these incidences particularly are ones where people waited until they had a major situation happen. And we were saying that it's optional. You don't have to have suffering, a lot of waiting, a lot of treading water and looking at other people's lives and saying, well, I wish my life was that wonderful. I mean, that's...
So you can create it yourself.
You can create everything.
And sometimes we get really stuck. I know one time for myself, I've had this habit in the past of trying to figure out a problem, and this went on for me for probably like 3 or 4 years, where I'd have
only
that long. It was just a little while. Where I'd have this problem and I was trying to figure it out and trying to figure it out and trying to figure it out and trying to figure it out. And I mean, I felt like it was breaking my brain. And
it feels kind of like Groundhog's Day.
Oh, it was like being on a wheel.
Yeah.
Like all over. And I just, one day, because it's kind of that breakaway thing, where one day I was like, I'm really sick of feeling like this. I can't figure out the answer. I'm not going to try anymore.
Do you hear people say I'm sick of being sick and tired?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's part of commanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of your awakening, but doing nothing with it and going back to sleep again and continuing doing the same thing over and over.
Right. But I made the choice that day to no longer try and figure it out. And I just decided to focus on what I wanted instead, and the issues that I kept trying to figure out. I mean, it was literally a lot of heaviness. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, that's it. I'm done with that. I put it over there. I decided I'm not going to
slap me.
I did. That would have been terrible. If I ever do, just make sure you really go down hard.
Okay.
Like, make it look good. And then we'll just keep it on the video.
No cuts. These are like
none.
Live first takes. No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Why? Because you didn't feed the other. If
Correct.
you don't feed it, it has to leave because it just withers up. It has no energy that has been given to it. I've done that so many times.
And I've realized I was believing for a while that in order to fix it, whatever I felt needed to be fixed, that I had to fix it. And you don't. That's
not your job.
That's actually
the divine's job. Hello, folks.
Yeah, and that's the part where you keep creating more of the same. Mm-hmm. And I say, if you created a lot of really bad, you have the ability to create a lot of really good.
That's right.
Yeah,
yes,
right?
That's right. And
but you change your focus.
Yeah, and when I said you have the ability to create your life, actually you are creating everything, all the opportunities, all the situations.
That's right.
And if it feels like, okay, this is a bad situation, well, really it isn't, because it's helping you gain experience and to see what would you prefer instead and get more clear on that and recognize that it's for you to learn what you would prefer and create harmonious relationships that are so much more wondrous instead. So.
Right, and maybe to look at your life experiences a little more like, I had this aha moment once where it's like, oh, okay, so I had this happen and I didn't really like it. So I don't have to judge it or put all kinds of negative emotion into not liking this thing. Yeah. I can just say, oh, yeah, that's this. I didn't really like that. I'd rather have this instead, and be okay with both things because it's just an experience.
Right. And if you look at other people, like I've had a lot of people that were very envious and jealous of the things that happen in my life, and I'm like, why? Because I share everything that I have with everybody, and I do a lot of giving because I like to share. I really do. But when I would see people that had wonderful opportunities flowing into their lives, I literally am not envious. And I'm literally not jealous either. And it's not because I'm all that. It's because I'm like, oh, what a great idea. I really like that. Thank you for the opportunity to bring an example in my life of what I think would be wonderful. I mean, there's a reason why people look through magazines and stuff, like designer magazines or clothing or, you know, whatever. It isn't to be, you don't have to look at it and swoon and wish, oh my gosh, I wish I had that in my life. You can look at it and say, wow, this is a great idea. Well, you can go through life the same way, saying, oh, I like that. Next time I go do this is what I'm going to create.
Right.
And what a different way of using your thoughts and your energy, really, and your life, really.
Totally.
So there's a reason why we're told we're not supposed to be envious and jealous of people. Because it really cankers your soul, your heart, your happiness, your well-being.
Right.
Doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And really, once you're able to internalize the ability that you're already employing, you're already using it, everything that is in your life is there because of what you've already created, but you can look at things and decide, I would prefer to have this. And you can draw it to you by learning how to use your mind correctly and your feelings correctly, and listening to the messages that your body tells you and sends you through your feelings.
Right. And your feelings are your perfect guide. That's tattooed to my inner wrist. So, as an example of this that we're talking about, kind of treading water and not really moving forward with your life until something major happens, I thought I'd share a story or two about that. And there is this really special couple that have been in my life. And the husband suddenly died, but he had been in poor health for a while. And his wife was, when I first met her, she was going blind. Her back was just like a crooked road. I mean, she was in a lot of pain, and her knees were all kind of, well, they were just disintegrating, and she was having issues walking and just being able to do things in life. And she had become more and more and more inward to where she wasn't going out. She wouldn't drive, of course, because her eyes, for one thing, she couldn't see very well. So he was doing a lot of that for her. And he had some serious health issues for him to be able to go and do anything. I mean, he literally had to be in one of those motorized wheelchair kind of things to do the grocery shopping and all these things, because she wouldn't go out. She didn't feel like she could go out and be in public. So, and then he died. And oh my gosh, they were such close companions, and they had such a happy marriage. They were such like a great couple. And I was visiting with her and saying, oh, how are you doing? And of course, my heart's just broken, broken. But I had suggested to her, well, prior to this, at least a year or two prior to this, please consider getting surgery for your eyes and surgery for your knees. And there was another surgery too. Let me see, what was that for? Oh, for her back. Yeah. Because, she was in a lot of pain. I had to have on a lot of painkillers and stuff too, which really just takes a lot of other things in your life. So, but he died. All right. I spoke with her less than a month later after his death. And thankfully, she has got these amazing sons, beautiful sons, that came and said, Mom, because they were living in a family community-like place. So for her husband had, from his family, they were so kind to help them with that. But it really wasn't the place for her to be. I mean, it was important. She was more around her family at this time. So she said, I'm moving to another state, and my sister's like 40 minutes away. They get along great. They're putting together all these cool things that they're going to be doing. I mean, it's like she kind of woke up and started kind of assessing her life, her choices, her situations. What do I do now? And her sons were helping her with packing everything up and moving her to this other state. And she's taking her pets and stuff with her. They said, oh, that's fine. Yeah, they can come too. And she told me, she goes, I'm getting my eye surgery, I'm getting my back surgery, and I'm getting my knee surgeries done. I'm like,
perfect. Major
I'm
change.
so excited for her. And she goes, and I'm getting my driver's license too. Now, she could have done that years ago, but because she had somebody else who was willing to take it for the team, so to speak, and help her out, it actually held her back. It actually held her back. And she could have had a much fuller life a lot sooner. But those are her choices. It doesn't mean that those opportunities have passed her by, though.
Right.
She can still have it. So at any time, you can say, hey, you know, I've experienced this long enough and I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to make changes.
Make a shift.
Yeah. So that's what she's doing, and she's moving as we speak, going to that other state. I'm so
That's
excited for her.
awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm way excited for her. So we'll keep you posted. We'll
Yeah.
keep you posted.
But you don't have to wait for something big.
No,
You can do it.
You can
in
change
any
it
moment.
anytime.
You just decide what you want.
Yeah, so call
you'd
in
like.
your courage and call in your curiosity and call in your childlike excitement about how would I like to live my life. And I tell people this all the time. I said, if you don't have to worry about your time, your energy, your age, your circumstances, your money, what would you love to do?
Yeah.
And people have said, well, this is what I'd really like to do. Or anybody's opinions, okay? And this is what I'd like to do. And literally, within a day, it's all dialed in for them. Literally. I know this is possible, and I've shared this before. I've shared it in my books. I've shared it in my websites and things like that. This absolutely is documented and possible
Right.
for anybody in any situation.
Right.
So,
And we talk a lot about the meditations, which we're not going to probably put in this video, but in another one, we wanted to go over the kind of some nuances about the
Yeah.
meditations and how to do them
yeah,
in
I
a
had
way that's
something
really
big happen
effective.
to me today.
Yeah.
I didn't share it in the other video. You want me to share it?
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, did I?
I
can't
don't know.
remember. I can't
Is it
remember. It's about the doors.
No, you didn't say that.
Okay.
one
So what happened is there was this building that we were in for our offices, and we moved in. They decided the new owners decided, because it was sold, the new owners decided to get the whole thing and to start over again. And they were going to add some more offices. And the original offices had these beautiful wood carved
yet.
doors.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like, ooh,
Yeah,
so
they're really
pretty.
nice, solid wood carved doors. So I mentioned it to my husband. I said, don't you think it'd be great if we took those doors? Because I have remote viewing and I could see that they would be short on the doors and that they wouldn't even fit with the design of the office. And instead of just destroying them or just taking them to the dump, wouldn't it be great if we could utilize them up in the mountains? Because it, the wood carved doors will go with the forest and stuff. It'll be really nice. So he mentioned it to them, and meanwhile we were helping these people with finding different subs and people to help them with the build outs, and they were so grateful. And they called up one day and said, hey, you know those doors you guys said you'd like to have? You can go ahead and have them. And I'm like, this is so great. And why did I follow through? Because when I was meditating, I was told to do that. I got this feeling, and you have to listen to those feelings and just follow through. Just take a little action, because they're
Right.
organizing these things to happen.
Right.
Why? Because they can see the future.
Right.
They can see what you would love to see happen and how it'd be such a blessing for yourself, but other people as well. And so I took the action. I let them organize and form everything, but I took the action that they whispered to me. And today, well, actually, it was this last week, they called and said, hey, can you pick up those doors? And I said, sure. So I drive over the excursion with this big trailer. Thankfully, I know how to drive an excursion with a trailer and back it up. Backed it up to the door, and I was saying, because when they would like to have them picked up wasn't really a good fit for me, because I was up in the mountains when they said, hey, come pick up the doors. And I said, is it possible I can pick it up tomorrow morning? And they said, actually, yeah, that would be fine. And I was thinking, I would love to have somebody there, and I'd love to have some extra people there to help move these big, huge, humongous doors. And I got there in the morning, and all of a sudden, all these people started showing up, and they just loaded up the doors. I got in the trailer and pulled them all forward. We had all the blankets to help to shield and protect them, and off I went with these doors. Meanwhile, it's supposed to rain, and they're in the back of my trailer. I'm like, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, well, that's it's supposed to rain. So it's going to be raining in my area. I don't know if it's going to rain in your area, but it will be raining in my area. So meanwhile, our neighbors across, I'm thinking, where are we going to put these doors? And my husband's saying, okay, we're just going to go rent another storage room. I said, inside my body, I commanded, no, that's not going to happen. So my neighbors across the street moved out this weekend, and so their home and their garage is empty. And my husband asked, hey, would you mind if we just parked our trailer in there for a short while, because you haven't sold your home yet? Would that be all right with you? So that these doors won't get rained on. And they said, oh yeah, absolutely, it's fine. And our neighbors next to us have the keys, so they'll open it up for you, and they're lovely people, wonderful people. And so that's what we did. And I said to Ron, I was meditating, and I was being told several meditations, you have enough room in your storage room already. Do not rent another storage room. Don't spend another thin dime on more storage rooms. And you have enough room. So I'm like, okay. So this morning we get up after driving 10 hours or more and going to a funeral and then a wedding right after that yesterday. And all we needed to do was birth the baby on the freeway, and then we could have.
Yeah. Oh, and you did that, right?
Then we could have had a trifecta. So it's like, and I'm dancing, and we're having so much fun, and we're seeing all these cousins and stuff at the funeral. Funerals are great, weddings are great, and birthing babies are great too. So anyway, so we get up early this morning, and Ron's like talking to the storage room guy, and I said, Ron, I've already seen it. We have enough room to put these doors in that storage room. No, it's just full all the way to the door. I said, I'm told we have enough room. So we went to the storage room. We opened it up, and it was like, and I said, look, we can shift and change these things around. So we did, and we have plenty of room. And then we had this like big, humongous Bowflex thing. And I'm like, Ron, are we really going to put this, not against the Bowflex people, but I'm like, are we really going to haul this sucker around because it's pretty heavy? Maybe we'd like to just set it on the street and say, free. And he says, oh man, that's going to be so heavy for us to put in the trailer and take home to put on the street to say free. Right then, somebody drives up, opens up the storage room next to us, and Ronnie takes that inspired feeling that came to him. We all have these. And he said to the man, we had never met him before, hi, would you like to have a Bowflex? And the man brightened, and he says, yeah, I would. I'll get my guys to come over, and we'll load it up, and we'll take it. And he said, how much does it cost? And he says, oh, it's for free. My husband said, it's for free. And he goes, oh, yeah. So that's all dialed in. The Bowflex is moved like that. The doors are going to be put into this area, and we have plenty of room and more to be able to utilize it without any problem. So it's like, that's how fast it can happen. We just happen to talk about it. The guy drives up, boom, done.
Right. And you're using your intention, though, in everything you do in your life, that everything's going to work out, and that what you want is going to happen, or that what you would like is happening. And
But I'm first connected to the divine,
Yes.
using godly powers because of the one-ment, the atoning powers of the divine, these godly powers. And that's how it happens so rapidly. And you can do the same, and you already are, whether you recognize it or not. It's just, are you listening, and are you taking your little bit of action while the divine organizes and puts everything else together?
Right.
Pretty fun.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today with this. And if you found this inspiring and you are enjoying it and you think someone else would benefit from it as well, please share it with them. And also hit the link below.
And the comments.
Yeah.
Add the comments, because I bet you guys have got some really wonderful experience to share with the world.
Absolutely. And also, if there's things you'd like to ask us that we can talk about, we'd love to hear your feedback so we can address those things for you as well. All right, till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.